All right, race fans, let's talk about Saturday, October 11th here at Delaware Park. We had a big 9-race card, 2 features later on in the afternoon, the White Clay Creek and the Rocky Run for 2-year-olds. So looking forward to telling you about those. We had a strong handle on Saturday. It was over 3 million. Let's get right to the action. Race 1 kicks off the popular early pick 5. They bet over 25,000 into the early pick 5 on Saturday. We're fast and firm today. Race 1, we're going 6 furlongs on the main track. Maiden claiming 12,500 for 2-year-olds. Let's go to the voice of Delaware Park, Josh Brown, with the call of Saturday's opener.
Away and running. Drifting out at the start was Williston Warrior. Right next door to that one is Stone Cold Handsome. But the inside speed start to descend, and now Pergamon comes calling for the lead. Also right there is Guns Roar. And look at this, 8 of them within a length of each other. So now Guns Roar comes away with the outright lead. But also right there is Sugar on Fire up the inside in second. Stone Cold Handsome tracks in third. Up the inside, Shift the Wind came away in fourth. Williston Warrior now takes that position away. Pergamon's dropped away, tugs past 1, and Don't Copy Me is last of the 8 as they swing the side. And the rail is wide open for Shift the Wind, who confronts the top 3, going at it hot and heavy with 5/16 to go. Shift the Wind strikes the front, trying to battle on is Sugar on Fire, and those two are 1-2 as they approach the 3/16 pole, and Sugar on Fire trying to repel the challenge of Shift the Wind. Williston Warriors coming with power and pace now, and here comes Williston Warrior to attack Sugar on Fire. Shift the Wind loomed and flattened out. Tug is closing from nowhere, but inside the concluding stages, the first favorite of the day is Williston Warrior, and it's nicely clear Williston Warrior has won it. Sugar on Fire was a 42-1 second. Tug was third. Shift the Wind was fourth.
Williston Warrior was getting a nice class relief on Saturday, and that's all he needed to break his maiden in his 5th career start. Wins for owner breeder Stonehenge LLC of Florida and the New England Hall of Fame trainer Ned Allard. Nice 2-year-old chestnut gelding by Cajun Breeze. Nice ride there. Kevin Gomez. Williston Warrior went off 9-5 and paid $5.60 to win race 1. Race 2 would kick off the early pick 4. We're going 1 mile, 70 yards on the main track. Beaten 5,000 claimer for 3-year-olds and upward. Let's check out the action here from race 2.
Away and running to a nice level start. Level Up is tapped for speed, and so is Bold Ambition. Deep on the track is Secret Treasure. Bermondsey and Harvard is right there too, and this pace is sizzling. Road Trip to Nowhere, Toey in the Gate came away into a ground-saving joint 5th, and the last 3 are Bandero. Then you have Gray Streak and a hot pace to chase for Off the Meds, but they couldn't be going any faster. And Level Up is the leader and tracked intently by Bold Ambition, and they tear away from the opposition with 6 furlongs to go, and Road Trip to Nowhere is in the perfect spot if good enough today. That one has company, and Harvard teams up to his outside. There's a gap of 1 back to Bermondsey, who travels in 5th. Deep on the track, Secret Treasure starts to pick him off 1 by 1, and Bandero's also in mid-division. Gray Streak rides the rail second to last, and nothing yet from Off the Meds. So a good battle continues to brew, and they're already getting tired. Bold Ambition's the leader by a neck. Level Up tries to counter in second, and here comes Harvard with a menacing rush on the outside, and Road Trip to Nowhere is right there too. Secret Treasure comes under a heavy drive, claims 5th, now claims 4th. Bandero has no more to give, and trying to close in from the back of the pack is Off the Meds. Around the turn they go. Bold Ambition is trying to see this through, but 3 of them are ganging up to take him on. They're off the turn and they race for home. Bold Ambition is on borrowed time, and Secret Treasure is right there trying to press on past. They're into the stretch, and here comes Secret Treasure to take over the lead. Bold Ambition running a cheeky race in defeat. Back in third is Road Trip to Nowhere. Harvard battles on along with Off the Meds, but inside the final 70 yards, the third choice is home. Secret Treasure has won it. Bold Ambition was second, Harvard was third, and Off the Meds was fourth.
Jockey Julio Hernandez gave Secret Treasure a beautiful ride to win race 2. The 5-year-old son of Arrogate, now a 4-time winner, wins for owner Larry Raybold and trainer Hugh McMahon. Nice ride there. Julio Hernandez. Secret Treasure went off 7-2 and paid $9.60 to win race 2. Let's take a look at the third race. We'd start a pick 5 in race 3. Maiden claiming $40,000 for filly mares 3 and up. We're going 7.5 furlongs on a firm turf course with the rail setting at 35 feet. Let's see the action here from race 3.
Away and running. Good speed one from the outside from Rapaz. That one's going to cross in front of the face of the field. Tailored for Joy and Eskin for AK has to chase in second and third. Humorous to the outside is in fourth, and the Gangs All Here travels in fifth. Quite So is unsettled sixth. Second to last is Flaming Spirit, and Chloe's Banker the long shots at the back of the pack. 6 furlongs to go, and Rapaz is nursing a nice lead of about a length and a half. Askin for Avon Hagay chases in that second place position, and Tailored for Joy rides that rail in the third. Humorous is closing in nicely on the far outside in fourth, and there's quite a separation back to the Gangs All Here, who travels all by herself in fifth. Flaming Spirit's in front of 2, which is Chloe's Banker and Quite So. Midpoint of the backstretch run, Rapaz continues to show the way, but Humoresque is ready to breathe down her neck in second. Askin for Avon AK is not responding under a vigorous drive, and Tailored for Joy picks off that rival. The Gangs All Here tries to close in front of Flaming Spirit, and those are the 6 principals midpoint of the second turn. Humoresque raises the stakes to Rapaz. Now up the inside, Tailored for Joy is looking for the out. Askin for Avon AK finally stretches her legs, but it's still 2 lengths down. They swing, and Rapaz has been this long time leader. Humoresque continues to give chase. Askin for Avon AK gets a second win. Tailored for Joy pops off the fence. 4 across the track, 100 yards for home. Rapaz is unwavering. Here comes Tailored for Joy. Tailored for Joy got it in the final jump to beat Askin for Avon AK. Show photo between Rapaz and Humoresque.
Tailored for Joy gets up in the final strides, wins a blanket photo finish there in race 3. The 3-year-old daughter of Gervin breaks her maiden in her 7th career start for Tailored for Gold Stables and trainer Mac Robertson. Nice ride there, jockey Cecily Evans on Tailored for Joy, who went off at 3-2 and paid $5 to win race 3. Let's take a look here at the 4th race. We'd start another pick 5 in race 4. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the main track, claiming $7,500 for 3-year-olds and upward. Never won 3. Let's see what happens here in race 4.
All set. Away and running. Good speed 2 from the inside from Raleigh. Also showing good early toe is Sir Banana Brian. There's the red cap of Look Sharp. Deep on the track is Scheduling Dude. So as the dust settles, it's Sir Banana Brian. And Scheduling Dude, they are 1-2 in front of Look Sharp, and Raleigh travels in 4th. Towards the inside, Stormy Hollows in that 5th place position. Deep on the track is Kay's Pick. Hello Sunshine teams up with Performance Plus. Up the inside is Colorfield. That one was passed by Federal Exchange and by Boy Rocky, the first one in. And the last one away. For them do battle midpoint around the one and only turn. And taking over the lead is Scheduling Dude. But here comes 2 challengers on the outside. And Look Sharp raises the stakes as they turn to the top of the stretch. Scheduling Dude is 3 paths off the rail but still has the lead. Battling on is Look Sharp and Raleigh's 3 paths deep. These are the 3 to settle the score. And Scheduling Dude is still giving plenty. Look Sharp is chasing hard. And Raleigh's trying to press on past a stubborn leader. Scheduling Dude still holding on, and the 4-5 favorite got it done. Scheduling Dude has won it. Raleigh was second. Look Sharp third. Performance Plus was fourth.
Scheduling Dude, a 3-year-old colt by World of Trouble, gets his 3rd lifetime win on Saturday, and he gives jockey Julio Hernandez his 2nd win of the day. Scheduling Dude, trained by Mike Pino, went off at 4-5 and paid $3.60 to win race 4. Let's turn the page here. Race 5 would kick off the late pick 5. They bet over 13,000 into the late pick 5 on Saturday. We're going a mile 70 yards on the main track, claiming $7,500 for 3 and up. Never won 2 lifetime. Let's see what happens here in race 5.
Away and running. Good speed today for Jace is no joke. Duke of Dooley also chiming in, and a hustled along bull ring bully in Sydney's bid. Rail speed from Work Hard, and Reggae Man was a little slow when the starter said go. As they go around the first turn, Jace is no joke leads over Duke of Dooley, who's tracking in second, and Bullring Bullies in third. Very wide for Sydney's bid, and Work Hard has moved up a few spots. Wine Empire is deep on the track, and Reggae Man stays towards the rail, and the back markers include If I Were You, along with Electioneering, and the one who's at the back of the pack is Josh, and the one who's being pulled up is the 7 Knockout Guy. 4.5 furlongs to go, and still a three-pronged battle up top between Jace's No Joke, Duke of Dooley, and Bullring Bully. And now Jace's No Joke pulls away with a handy one-length lead. Four of them are quick to take him on. Duke of Dooley in that second place position, and still right there is Reggae Man, who rides that rail. Here comes Work Hard, 3 paths deep, and Bullring Bullies in for the fight as well. Around the far turn, here's the new leader, and that is Work Hard, who comes calling for the lead over Jace's No Joke and Duke of Dooley. Wine Empire grabs fourth. Bullring Bullies a tracking fifth. Sydney's bid is wide on the track. Closing in If I Were You with the back markers including Reggae Man and Electioneering, and the one who's tailed off second last is Josh as they turn for home. Work Hard looking for the competition, and there's none in sight. The only one with a chance is If I Were You, who probes up the inside. Coming from out of the clouds is Electioneering, but still in front is Work Hard with a sizable break over If I Were You, Electioneering, and Jace's No Joke. Work Hard with an excellent win today at 7-2. If I Were You was second, Electioneering third, Jace's No Joke was fourth.
Work Hard wins for fun there in race 5. The 4-year-old son of Audible, now a 2-time winner, wins for Pocket Threes Racing LLC and trainer Gary Capuano. Nice ride there, Carlos Lopez. Work Hard went off at 7-2 and paid $9.20 to win race 5. If you hit the early pick 5 on Saturday, that paid $236.80. Congratulations if you had that. Let's take a look here at race 6 to kick off the late pick 4. It's a nice maiden special weight for 2-year-olds, going 7.5 furlongs on a firm turf course with the rail at 35 feet. Let's see what happens here in race 6.
Away and running. Excellent speed from Renovator and Andolin. Kravitz came away a handy third, and Beekman Streak is in that 4th place position. First Officer is pulling hard while the jockey tries to relax that speed, and Harrio's in front of 2, which is Mickey Mac, and the early trailer was a slow starting strides of McCreary. Up and around the first turn they go. Andolin with a nice and easy lead, and let's call it a length. Tracking in that 2nd place position is Renovator, and up the inside Beekman Streak's a handy third. Only a length down from that trio of speed is Kravitz in 4th, and Harrio has advanced a couple of positions on debut to be in 5th. Deep on the track, McCready in the pink cap starts to throttle that speed and gets closer to the others. First Officers near the backfield, and Mickey Max last of all. So it's still Andolin who controls the clock, but the lead's down to 3/4 of a length. McCready is making this bold bid for the lead at no less than 20-1, and up the inside, Beekman Streak is right there too. In between rivals, Renovator. Very wide trip for Kravitz, even wider than that for First Officer. Harry O's blocked in traffic, and nothing from Mickey Mac. The quarter pole's in sight for Andolin, who's led him a long way. McCready still with his long sustained bid. Beekman Streak is crying out for room, and they come to the top of the stretch. It's still Andolin with the pace in its hands. McCready takes the fight to him. Beekman Streak is starting to close in, so is Renovator. They're at the gap. Andolin is unwavering. McCready is gutsy. Here comes Beekman Streak. Here comes Renovator. The rail is Harry O. McCready got it. A blanket photo finish for second involving Andolin, Harry O, Renovator, and Beekman Streak.
Big time effort from the first time starter McCready for trainer Mac Robertson. The 2-year-old colt by Practical Joke wins on debut at 19-1. Nice ride there. Gabe Maldonado. McCready paid a big $40.20 to win race 6. Let's turn the page here. Race 7, the first of $200,000 features we have on Saturday. Race 7 is the $100,000 White Clay Creek for 2-year-old fillies going a flat mile on the main track. Let's see the action here from race 7.
Away and running. bit slow is Jumping the Gun. Good speed for Go Mischievous and Miss Call. They break 1-2. Dazzling Dame came away a handy third. And up the inside, Go Mischievous is also right there, part of the top three. Deep on the track is Jumping the Gun. The yellow cap belongs to Savor It. And up the inside is Miss Fulton Gal. 2 Bits is in front of 2, which is Dakota Cam and Patty's Girls at the back of the pack. They leave the first turn of the White Clay Creek Stakes, and it's all Miss Call showing him the way, and it's a nice and easy lead of 3/4 of a length. Dazzling Dame is right there, eager to go under the rider's hands in second, and Jumping the Gun was 4 wide for the backstretch run. Go Mischievous stays parked to rail in that 4th place position, and Savor It teams up with 2 Bits on the far outside. The last 3 continues to be Patty's Girl, who's deep on the track. Miss Fulton Ground is ground saving, and Miss Fulton Gal is in front of Dakota Cam. Here's the far turn, and a brief challenge coming from Miss Call, and the one who comes calling for the lead is Dazzling Dame. And right behind the both of them, Jumping the Gun hasn't been asked yet, but is getting closer. These 3 tear away from the rest, and 2 Bits right now is a 4th place horse as they round the quarter pole. Here's Jumping the Gun, ready to play her hand to Dazzling Dame and Miss Call. Heads turn for home of the White Clay Creek Stakes, and Jumping the Gun to confront Dazzling Dame, and Miss Call is slowly giving way, and these 2 ladies will settle the score. Dazzling Dame is running a tough race today. Jumping the Gun is trying to press past but can't for the moment, and Dazzling Dame is slipping away. Dazzling Dame has won the White Clay Creek Stakes over Jumping the Gun, Miss Call, and 2 Bits.
Well, the 2 favorites were 1-2, turning for home. Dazzling Dame on the outside, the heavy favorite Jumping the Gun on the outside, and Dazzling Dame gets the money in the White Clay Creek. This is a nice 2-year-old filly by Gervin for Respective Valleys LLC and trainer Brittany Russell. Nice winning ride there by jockey Kevin Gomez, who picked up his 2nd win of the day. Dazzling Dame now a 3-time winner from 4 starts. She's a multiple stakes winner now. She went off 5-2 and paid $7 to win the White Clay Creek. The pick 5 that started race 3 and ended with race 7, that pick 5 paid $866.10. Congratulations to all the winning connections of Dazzling Dame in the White Clay Creek. That's certainly a nice filly with a very bright future. Let's turn the page here. Race 8 would kick off the late daily double. Nice first level allowance condition here for 3-year-olds and upward, going 5.5 furlongs on the main track. Let's see what happens here in race 8.
Away and running. Bad start for East Boston Benny. Cold as Hell was the first one to go. East Boston Benny recovers. Altabelli's right there too in the firing line. Super Tuscan also wants a piece of the action. And up the inside is Catuno. Boat Song has a hot pace to chase. Groucher's second last, and trailing is Bourbon Aficionado. So 4 of them couldn't be going any faster from the inside out. East Boston Benny and Altabelli. Cold as Hell is 3 wide, 4 deep for Super Tuscan. Then you have Catuno, who has the run of the race but nowhere to go. Boat Song is committed to a wide kick, and these are the principles as they approach the quarter pole. And steadying hard was Altabelli. Here's the quarter pole for Super Tuscan deep on the track. East Boston Benny's going to try to sustain despite a bad start. They swing into the stretch. East Boston Benny drifting off the rail, and that means Catuno is closing in, and Super Tuscan's in for the fight, and Super Tuscan kicks away from the opposition. Catuno moves into second. East Boston Benny botched it at the start. It's Super Tuscan's win. Super Tuscan beats Catuno, East Boston Benny, and Boat Song.
Super Tuscan has now won 3 in a row for trainer Safi Joseph Jr. She won at 3-5. I'm sorry, he won at 3-5 here in race 8. Nice 3-year-old colt by Vino Rosso, now a 3-time winner. Congratulations to jockey Martin Schwann. Super Tuscan went off 3-5 and paid $3.20 to win race 8. The pick 5 paid $647.95. Congratulations if you had that pick 5 that started back in race 4. Let's take a look at race 9, the finale, the other feature of the day, the $100,000 Rocky Run Stakes for 2-year-olds going a flat mile on the main track. The 6, Probably Dreaming, undefeated 2-year-old for Gary Capuano. He would go off at 1-9 in the Rocky Run. Let's see what happens here in the Saturday finale.
Away and running in the Rocky Run Stakes, and it was Majestic Blue who breaks right on cue, but Freely Held and Chalky White engages that leader, and GQ Worthy's 4 paths deep as they round the first turn. Majestic Blue has a little bit of pace to chase in that joint third place position, and Probably Dreaming is off the fence in that fifth place spot. Star Sweeper stays to the inside amongst traffic woes, and Empire of Glory is last of all, 6 furlongs to go, and Freely Held holds the baton and shows the way by half a length. Chalky White is right there chasing the speed every step of the way, and GQ Worthy is wide for the back of the track run. Star Sweeper looking for a great big seam up the inside and gets it, and here comes Star Sweeper to engage the leader, which is Freely Held, and Chalky White's been relegated to third. GQ Worthy's deep on the track in fourth. Majestic Blue rides the rail. 1 to 9's the number on Probably Dreaming, who's in front of 1, and that's Empire of Glory as they turn again. So Freely Held shaking off the challenger Star Sweeper, but the posse starts to close in the Rocky Run Stakes, and GQ Worthy comes calling for the lead, and the heavy favorite Probably Dreaming starts to pick them off one by one, and Probably Dreaming is 4 paths deep, but comes with all this glorious momentum at the top of the stretch, and in a blink of an eye, Probably Dreaming swoops to the front. GQ Worthy had no response and ducks out. Closing in from last is Empire of Glory, but inside the final 200 yards, Probably Dreaming just running up the score. GQ Worthy, Empire of Glory, and closing in late is Majestic Blue. Probably Dreaming has won the Rocky Run Stakes. To beat GQ Worthy, Empire of Glory, and Majestic Blue.
Well, owner Paul L. Fowler Jr. and trainer Gary Capuano have a real nice 2-year-old here, Probably Dreaming, now undefeated 3 for 3. He's a multiple stakes winner now. The 2-year-old colt by Improbable was purchased at Keeneland last year as a yearling. So congratulations, they have a nice 2-year-old here by Improbable out of a Broken Val mare. Carlos Lopez and Gary Capuano with a 2-win day on Saturday. Probably Dreaming went off at 1 to 9 and paid $2.20. A late pick 5 paid $361.25. This horse only cost $37,000 last year at Keeneland. That certainly seems like a bargain. He's undefeated now. The sky's the limit for Probably Dreaming. Congratulations to all the winning connections of Probably Dreaming in the Rocky Run. So we had a big day on Saturday. Congratulations to all the winning connections of the White Clay Creek and the Rocky Run. Brittany Russell, Gary Capuano Barn, they had big days, and so did jockey Carlos Lopez. He had a 2-win day. Kevin Gomez had a 2-win day, and so did jockey Julio Hernandez had a 2-win day, and trainer Gary Capuano with a 2-win day here at Delaware. He won races all over the place today. The Gary Capuano barn is razor sharp right now. So a strong handle on Saturday. We were over 3 million in total handle, thanks to all our fans, bettors, horsemen, and of course thanks to all our horses for putting on a great show on Saturday. We hope you had a good time. Have a great night. We hope to see you back next Wednesday for our final week of the 2025 meet. Have a great night. We'll see you next week.